Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome back to Warhammer 2 Total War. Today's video is going to be something completely different and it's basically going to be a trial run. So I asked you guys over on YouTube, the YouTube community tab, whether or not you guys wanted to see a AI only campaign where I basically just jump ahead turns and show you guys the interesting parts that happen during the campaign during a set goal. So like each video will be something completely different. One video will see if the Empire can defeat chaos. Another video we'll see if the dwarfs, or who will win between the dwarfs and the orcs, or you know, the dark elves and the high elves over a set period of like 200 turns. And I'll basically just jump ahead showing you guys the most interesting stuff on like turn 10 or turn 30 and so on up to like a limit, and basically set challenges and see how the AI will take them. I think this could be a really fun idea because not only can we do it with Total War Warhammer 2 vanilla, but there's also so many mods out there which allow me to completely change up the world, make it super wacky. You guys may have seen stuff like this with Drew doing, you know, Hearts of Iron AI only runs, and I always end up, you know, at 4 o'clock in the morning watching Civ 5 only AI, you know, random battles to see how it goes down and what civilization will win. So I thought this could be a fun idea to bring into Total War Warhammer and basically just let it unfold. I'm also, as I said, this is very much a test run, so it's up to you guys whether or not you want to see more of it. If you do, be sure to drop a like and a comment. It's the best way for me to kind of really get to grips with what you guys want to see, and also give me advice. Would you rather me do what I'm going to be doing in this episode where I jump ahead constantly, you know, skipping from turn to turn, or would you rather just see kind of like an overall time lapse of the entire world going on, and I just speed it up and you guys kind of watch me end the turns over and over again? Do let me know in the comments. I'd be very interested to find out what you guys think of this idea. Okay, so today's episode is going to start off with the AI only Dwarf v Orc battle. Can the dwarfs defeat the orcs in 200 turns, or will they be eliminated before them turns are up? So what we'll do is we'll take a quick look of who starts off with what, to basically see the advantages of the forces and basically see what side will come out on top. We'll take a look at the orc forces first. So as you can see, they pretty much hold the entirety of the Badlands, having a lot of territory to begin. We are heavily going to focus on the main two Dwarven and Orc factions, so that's going to be Grimgor Ironhide's boys in the Greenskins, and obviously Thorgrim as well. They're going to be like the main factions we do focus in on. But as you can see, the orcs do hold a large amount of territory in the Badlands, which is good. If they can confederate early, give them good bonuses. The dwarfs, however, do have allies in Karak down in the south. They also own, obviously, you know, Karak, which is obviously going to take the Silver Road fairly quickly, and they also hold territory in the northern mountains, actually having the Slayer Keep, as well as Belagar Ironhammer right here. Is he going to go on his quest for Karak 8 Peaks or not? And then finally Skarsnik up there. So it's going to be pretty much the teams for the battle itself, and what I will try my best to do is on the left hand side I'll give you guys the turn timer, and maybe I'll stick a color code for a few of these factions as well, so you guys know what color is what when we do zoom out, because unfortunately there's no pictures, which would be really nice, but unfortunately that is not the case. So let's jump ahead to the next turn and see what goes down. So we're 11 turns in and Grimgor has spent no time in attacking his orcs, doing what orcs do best. He's taken the Iron Rock and moved down to Valayar's Sorrow as well, expanding his borders. A lot of orc infighters. The dwarfs, however, have stayed quite stationary. They haven't moved on the Pillar of Grugni quite yet. I mean, I guess Thorgrim is just building up a nice dwarven throng of 20 units, which will be very deadly. They however taken this, so Belagar Ironhammer is on his quest for Karak 8 Peaks. It'll be interesting to see what he does, and if he does decide to move on northwards. Another 10 turns later, on turn 21, and the Greenskins are just going ham right now. They've moved down to Death's Gorge down here in the south, and as you can see, they are this green color, and they have just completely overwhelmed this position. If we take a look at the diplomacy screen for the orcs, we can actually see their huge strength right now. They've definitely consolidated their forces very, very nicely, securing all this southern region. If they can push out the Karak Azul right here, the red faction, then they can easily move up. The other Dwarven factions really haven't done too much. I mean, Thorgrim himself is still in 10 turns later, still in Karak as Karak, and you know, he hasn't moved down southward, so he could definitely feel some pain if he doesn't move out quickly and start to take out these forces. The Bloody Spheres, I think, have also consolidated with some other factions, and they are taking no time in moving elsewhere, killing Zufbar pretty quickly, and also the Slayer Keep has fallen to the orcs of the mountains to the north. The only glimmering of hope right now, at least at this point, is the fact that we do have the forces of Clan Angrim have managed to take down some territory, and they've actually secured themselves an entire province, which is pretty good for them. But you know, this early on in the campaign, definitely the Greenskins are going ham. Again, if we look at the diplomacy, sorry, I should have pointed this out. We can see that the Greenskins are at war with the faction right here. So Grimgor is just going ham right now. He has pushed really far north, securing all of this territory. If we can see, he's gone ahead and secured the southern Badlands, as well as pushing pretty close to the Dwarven capital right now. This could be a very short video if he continues to be this aggressive, as Thorgrim himself has moved out and taken Karag over here. However, he's leaving his capital very vulnerable, especially when Grimgor and his faithful ally is waiting in the wings to strike. It's going to be interesting to see how this one does pile out, and if the Greenskins can confederate, for example, with the Bloody Hands, they are just going to hold so much territory over here, it's not even going to be funny. So at the moment, the Dwarfs are not hanging in there too well. They really are getting beaten back, and there's not really much they can do. They need to definitely start fighting these orcish armies and sending them back, because I mean, there's 4 of them right here, and the northern mountains are completely lost now as well. No dwarfs remain in these mountains whatsoever. It looks like the Dwarfs are mounting a comeback now. We are on turn 51, so we jumped ahead 20 more turns, and we can see that the Dwarfs have actually finally started to kick themselves into gear. They have lost the Karag over here, however they have secured probably what are more of the vital positions for them to succeed, with the Varakia Hills and also the Pillar of Grugny being taken away from the Bloody Spheres. And I think that's mainly because the Bloody Spheres are fighting away the vampires now. The vampires have pushed themselves into the mountains, and that's drawing a lot of the orc forces upwards, allowing the dwarfs to push southwards and secure the rest of the Silver Road as well. We also see the Bloody Hands confederate there, the grey colour right here. They've gone ahead and confederated with whatever faction else was down there, securing a pretty powerful alliance and a pretty powerful confederation. I'm not sure if they're even more powerful now than the Greenskins. If we take a look at the tribes, we can see that the Bloody Hands are power ranking 15, whereas the normal Greenskins, which is the Green Tide, is only power ranking 61, so not too great. If we take a look over on the Dwarfs, we can see that Karaz Angkor, which is the Dwarfs, are power ranking 17. So at the moment, the Bloody Hands are the strongest faction out of the 2 sides, so it'll be interesting to see how that one does develop. Again, nothing's really happened over to the east. They've kind of done a little bit. Skarsnik has been beaten up pretty badly. Honestly, the Empire have decided to come up and take these once Dwarven provinces, and nothing else has really happened elsewhere out there. Karakazul themselves as well have lost a few provinces maybe, or at least they're under quite heavy attack, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle with it. If we also take a look at the Dowie as well, we can see they are not at war with the vampire counts yet. They're actually relatively friendly with the vampire counts, which is surprising. I guess because they're both fighting the Bloody Spheres, which, you know, the enemy of my enemy after all. So yeah, cool, let's jump ahead another couple turns and see how the map develops. Complete and utter confederation. Grimgor has confederated with the Bloody Hands now on turn 71, and their empire is extremely vast, stretching from the south of the Badlands all the way up through the northern mountains. Their empire is very large, and now that the Varg have come down as well, taking a large portion of these provinces, Norska secure the north, making they can basically just focus on the dwarfs now. We do have Grimgor and the dwarfs proving some sort of aggression right here, taking Barak Var and also Dot Karaz here, with Thorgrim moving southwards, almost giving up on fighting the armies, just trying to take away their power. We also have Ungrim as well. I think this is Ungrim. Oh no, this is the white dwarf right here. and he is currently securing the Silver Road. But Grimgor is in striking distance of Karaz Karak, but I think it's just crazy to see how big the dwarfs, how big the orcs have suddenly just gained their territory. They are now strength rating 1, whereas the orcs or the dwarfs themselves are, the dwarfs themselves are strength rating 5 now. So that's not too bad considering how much territory the Greenskins do have compared to the dwarfs themselves. And they still have, a few other factions as well. There's plenty more Dwarven clans around the map than there are orcs. There are only 2 more orc factions. Actually, there's one in Essen right now, which is kind of funny, up in vampire territory. I wonder how long they'll be around, as it does look like the vampires are doing a pretty good job of expanding here, especially now that the Norscan factions can come down and hit away of the Empire. Actually, taking a look up in the north, I know this is a little bit different. Okay, sorry, they just look very similar. Oh no, but yeah, the Bretonnians have actually made their way into Norska. But anyway, that can be a separate video. At the moment, it's not looking good. The Greenskins have been pushed back. The Crooked Fang Fort has been taken as well. So Karak Azul might be done for very, very quickly as well. It's not looking good for the dwarfs, but maybe they are still fight whilst there are dwarfs to defend the mountains. So the dwarfs have finally taken the Silver Road 91 turns into the campaign, as well as securing some provinces down here in the south. They have given up the Dok Karaz right here, but I think this is a good move for the dwarfs. They've gone ahead and basically just made their territory a lot more consolidated, hopefully allowing them to push out. Again, Belegar has barely done anything. Oh no, Belegar has actually come across as well. I didn't even see this. He's moved in here and taken out the Orc provinces, which they took away from the Border Prince. That's very interesting. The Greenskins are also currently at war with the Skaven as well, with Clan Moors, which I believe is Queek Headtaker. And as you can see, Queek's done quite a few things over here. There's a lot of desolate provinces, so we could see Queek on a race for Karak 8 Peaks up here. It'll be interesting to see who claims Karak 8 Peaks first, the dwarfs or the Skaven, or even Skarsnik. But Skarsnik is no longer in the game. Yeah, I don't think Skarsnik is around anymore. I can't see his faction, so I assume Skarsnik is taken out. But Belegar is coming over to help his brother, and they actually do meet their territory right here as well, which is pretty cool to see them actually matching up with their territory finally. The orcs are still massive, but this could spell the end if they can meet up correctly and push southwards. Grimgor could be having a run for his money. So the dwarfs have taken a leaf out of the orc books, and confederated Clan Angrim and Thorgrim have come together to form one dwarven empire, ready to push back the green tide. They still obviously have a lot of territory, but they have also now eliminated Karak Azul, so it is basically north versus south in this battle to the death, and it's going to be very fun to see who does come out on top, as both sides have several armies positioned quite heavily. We also have Belegar actually. I wonder if he's going to make his way to Karak 8 Peaks before Queek can get there, because I believe Queek is also making his way northwards, maybe? I don't know, he's kind of disappeared. Maybe he's been beaten back, who actually knows. We can also see that the Greenskins have made a defensive alliance with the Tomb Kings, which are situated right here. So if the Tomb Kings themselves can go ahead and maybe get in this war against the dwarfs, they can offer a lot of support in this battle, and I think the war will be raging on. But I mean, the war has been raging on for 111 turns right now. It's just quite hilarious. But this could be a turning point in the war. The fact that they've confederated could allow them to start taking back this territory. The dwarfs are on a mission now. They are a steamroller that cannot be stopped. They have pushed down hard into the south reaches, reclaiming territory they once held, taking the Iron Rock, which they've never taken, as well as moving northwards, claiming provinces. It feels like the dwarfs have the orcs on the run, especially now Thorgrim's about to take Grompek. Surprisingly, they're never probably going to take back the Slayer Keep. Anyway, 131 turns in, and the dwarfs are taking back territory from the Greenskins. It's funny how the Wood Elves have actually moved out here. Also, take a look at this. The Empire and Bretonnia have gone ham against the forces of Chaos. Look at that. They hold all of this territory. Well, I guess I say Norska rather than Chaos. But yeah, the Empire have actually done amazing. That's probably because in the mod I'm using, the Empire don't have to fight Chaos because I am Chaos and I'm obviously just auto-resolving turns. Yeah, the Dwarfs are giving no quarter whatsoever to the Greenskins, literally diving deep into the East Badlands, reclaiming Carrack 8 Peaks for Belegar. I'm sure he will sit upon his throne and rejoice in the fact that he has claimed it. And the Greenskins are literally running away with their tail between their legs. They still hold a nice little stronghold at Ekrond, and they also obviously hold a lot of territory, but also the Misty Mountains has been claimed by probably Queek, so I think the Dwarfs are going to just finish this up, again claiming more territory up here. And they're not at a war, I believe, with anyone else. They're actually at war with the Wood Elves, the Dwarfs, as probably to reclaim back the province right here, which I believe Orion held, and now they're going to come in. But there's also a few provinces here. Durfu has poured out, and the eternal war between the Dwarfs and the Elves have actually started. So again, we'll jump ahead and we'll see if the Greenskins can put in any more of a fight. But at the moment, their territory is getting eaten up by the forces of the Dwarfs. Also, Bretonnia and the Empire have just shared Norska in between one another. Wow, that is a slaughter. Yep, I think that's going to be all she wrote for the Orc forces. The Dwarfs are just going ham, moving southwards, reclaiming their territory from the Wood Elves as well. The Dwarfs are an unstoppable tank right now, and they're just destroying everyone. I think the Orcs themselves only have 3 or 4 provinces left remaining at turn 171. I believe that these 4 or 5 are the last positions that they do have. They do have a ton of armies at the Black Iron Mine though, so maybe that is exactly where they're going to make their last stand. But as we can see, the Dwarfs themselves are also pushing their soldiers over to try and silence it as well. So I don't know, this could go either way. I mean, it's not going to go either way. I do know the Dwarfs are having the Orcs number this day. The extinction of the Orc has arrived at turn 191. The Dwarfs proved too much for them, and they just wiped out the last remnants of their forces over by the Black Iron Mine. That's pretty crazy that we saw the Dwarfs, get pushed back so heavily. And I think if it wasn't for Belegar really taking this stronghold in the early part of the game, we would have definitely seen the Dwarfs falter there. But when they get to late game, their units are so good, and you definitely saw the Dwarfs falter. Taking a look at the rest of at least the old world, we can see Bretonnia and the Empire doing an amazing job wiping out Chaos. These Dwarfs up here basically just stood here the entire game, didn't really do much, but the Empire and Chaos, the Empire and the Bretonnia claimed back a lot of their territory. The Tomb Kings securing the whole of these lands down here to the south, with only 1 or 2 provinces they actually don't hold. The forces over here were basically all taken, by the looks of it, from the Scouts. No, actually, why isn't it? Oh, I haven't discovered them yet, that's why. But it's not showing up, but basically, Krokgar has actually defeated Queek quite handily, by the looks of it, even though he's still fighting on the campaign map. But there we go, that's going to be the first installment of this series. Do you guys enjoy it? Do you want to see more? Now granted, it's not going to be the most fine-tuned way of doing this. I think I'm going to learn the more of these videos I do, what works, and please do give suggestions in the comments, as I'd be really excited to see if you guys do want to see another one of these, what you'd prefer me to do different, how you'd like me to do it. As this is fun, it's fun seeing how the AI does pan out. There's not as much action as, say, when we do focus in on, fighting and stuff like that, but it's a nice little change of pace, and hopefully you guys do enjoy it. So be sure to drop a like and a comment if you want to see more of this series. Do give me ideas. I was thinking maybe of doing Can the Empire Survive the Chaos or something, or maybe we can do, I don't know, we could do something like the High Elves versus the Dark Elves or something. I don't know. We'll basically just see how things go down, as I think that'd be really, really cool. So yeah, make sure to drop a like and a comment. I will see you guys in the next one.